This wealthy man is transferring his power of attorney to your name because you're unaware he is your. Open by September 23th or he'll donate it ale. My beloved child. The moment you opened this, something shifted in your timeline. A door that had been sealed for years has finally begun to creak open, but only for you. Behind that door lies a truth that has been hidden, protected, and intentionally delayed. This isn't a coincidence. You were meant to see this before September 23rd. After that, everything disappears, transferred, donated, erased. This powerful man, the one who holds the key to this life-altering decision, is watching the time tick down. He never thought you'd find out. The world around him is filled with vultures, people waiting for him to die, to fall, to sign everything over to an empty cause. But you were chosen for a reason, and now your name is written on legal papers you've never even seen. You're wondering why Why now? Because his last letter was never delivered. It was intercepted. Blocked. Hidden by someone who knows exactly what this inheritance would mean for you. Stay right here. Don't scroll. Don't skip. What's about to unfold will change how you see your entire past. This man isn't just wealthy. He's dangerously influential, but not in the way you think. He doesn't flaunt his riches, and he doesn't announce his power. But from behind the scenes, he has been protecting something, you. Your existence is no accident. There's a reason strange people glance at you twice, why your dreams sometimes feel like instructions, and why you've felt monitored at random moments. Because he had eyes placed around you, not to control, but to guard. Long ago, you crossed paths with him, unknowingly. A moment that felt ordinary to you was life-altering to him. A favor, a smile, a brave decision. That act has rippled through time. It made him change his will. It made him write your name in ink where others expected gold. He told his lawyer, when the clock nears its final hour, let this message find its way to the one who saved me without realizing it. That hour is now. The notary has been contacted. The signature is ready. But there's a final verification step. And here's the twist, they've put a timeline on it. Open this by September 23rd. If not, the documents auto-trigger a fallback clause. Everything vanishes. You're not the only one who could claim this. But you're the only one who was meant to. That's why others have tried to delay this. There's a relative, someone with the same last initial, pretending to be you. Pretending to have earned what you actually deserve. They've shown up at the office once. They failed the biometric match. But now, they're trying again. With fake documents. With rushed calls. With forged signatures. But this man, he's no fool. He built empires by recognizing lies from truth. He knows who you are. He's just waiting for you to know too. He has hidden messages planted across his properties, some in the form of photographs, others encrypted in vaults. But one vault stands out. It's in a place you've seen before, possibly in a dream, possibly in real life, a marble floor, a black frame, a golden number, 47. Inside that vault is your name. Your birth certificate photocopy. And the clause of the power of attorney, already filled out. He didn't want to expose himself publicly. Not yet. But if you see your initials on any document that arrives this week, don't throw it. Don't dismiss it. That is the real trigger. The final piece. They're watching your reactions. Your online activity. Whether you ignore or investigate. That determines whether the transfer gets confirmed or denied. The man you're about to uncover is someone whose face you may recognize only vaguely. But his energy will feel familiar. Like a déjà vu wrapped in silence. He has kept your identity close to his chest. Only one other person knows about this, and they're trying to sabotage it. In the next 48 hours, you'll notice strange signs. A call from an unknown number that ends in 09. An envelope with no stamp. A person staring at you but quickly looking away when you glance back. Don't brush these off. Each is a cue. A confirmation that the machinery is moving. This man is not dying. He's choosing. And what he's choosing is you. The reason he didn't come forward earlier is tied to a betrayal. Someone close to both of you wanted this inheritance buried. It wasn't just about money. It was about legacy. Bloodline. Honor. But now, with time thinning like smoke, he has overridden all delays. He gave final orders: if they open this message before September 23, unlock the transfer. That's where you come in. You don't need to apply. You don't need to beg. You don't need to chase. You just need to stay alert. Because something that belongs to you is arriving, quietly, securely, through an unexpected source. It might be a courier who says the wrong name but locks eyes with you. It might be a stranger who drops something near you, just to start a conversation. Or it might be a dream that feels more like a memory. None of this is random. It's the final wave of confirmation. The lawyer has now placed a red tag on your file. That means any sign of disinterest from you will be seen as rejection. Rejection means forfeit. You will not be contacted again about this if you ignore this message. And here's what's most haunting: he had dreams about this moment. Repeating numbers. Dates. Signs. He knew you'd open this at the precise second your heart could handle the truth. He knew that when you felt everything falling apart in your life, it was only preparing you for this. Your silence is power. But now, your action will be the turning point. There are others monitoring this transmission. People who have spent years trying to stop you from knowing who you really are. They exist in boardrooms, in distant homes, and even among the people who pretend to care. But none of that matters anymore. Because the seal is breaking. The inheritance is shifting. The signature is waiting. You'll know the moment is real when one unexpected thing happens: a scent you recognize from your childhood, but can't place, fills a room. It will last only 3 seconds. But that will be your sign. After that, everything will start moving. And nothing will ever be the same. You were never forgotten. You were simply hidden, until now. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give a super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. The silence of last night was not just a pause, it was a signal. A stranger walked past the building, leaving no footprint but triggering a hidden camera alert connected directly to his private network. For the first time in 14 years, that sensor blinked red. He was alerted immediately, waking up in his high-security estate, heart pounding, because he knew someone had found the coordinates. That stranger wasn't random. That stranger wasn't just a passerby. That stranger knew something. Security footage has now been reviewed. And there, frozen in one frame, is a person holding a sealed envelope with your name clearly printed across the top, bold, underlined, and marked with a gold edge. That envelope was placed beside an engraved plaque that once read, "For the one who doesn't even know they're the key." The man, the billionaire, is now convinced, you know something. Or someone around you knows. Either way, his legal team is now preparing for immediate release of the documents. But here's the twist, the stranger left behind more than just that envelope. They also whispered a name into the vault camera's mic. That name? It matches the alias you've unknowingly carried in older financial data, created for your protection. The alias was buried under years of encrypted layers. Until now. This means the time for secrecy is done. The power of attorney transfer is no longer a question, it's in process. But you still must complete one step, acknowledgement. He doesn't need your money. He doesn't need your service. He needs your witness. Because you are about to be made guardian of a legacy bigger than wealth, this is about restoring something sacred. The reason he kept it quiet wasn't fear. It was timing. You had to be ready for this kind of responsibility. The people who tried to destroy him are still alive. Still powerful. Still watching. That's why your name was locked inside a vault that could only open after the date stamp of September 23 was triggered. That's why everything is accelerating now. You will begin to feel it in the air. Subtle changes, repeated signs, lights flickering for no reason, people bringing up conversations that feel too aligned. Even animals acting differently around you. These are not hallucinations, these are shifts. The billionaire has now activated the secondary executor, a woman who will contact you through a subtle method. Possibly through a misdirected package. Possibly through a message from an unknown sender using an old address you've forgotten you had. That message will contain the golden confirmation phrase. Memorize it now, the ledger is closed, but the name remains open. When you see that phrase, everything else will fall into place. That phrase will allow you to identify who's real, and who's pretending to help but actually stalling your breakthrough. Because there's a cousin, a distant relative, who's been working against you in complete silence. He got access to some of the internal papers. He knows what's at stake. And he's already tried once to forge your signature. But that forgery failed the ink pressure test. So now, he's switching strategies. Trying to reach out to you, pretending to be a messenger from the estate. If someone contacts you and says, "We need to verify your identity," be very careful. The billionaire's lawyer has strict orders. You are not to be contacted directly unless the vault opens. Which it hasn't, yet. But it's close. Here's what happens next. At 9:47 p.m. on a night very soon, something unusual will occur. A notification. A call. A delivery failed notice. That will be the last warning ping before the real handoff begins. The money involved is more than most could imagine. But that's not the real value. The real value lies in what it's meant to fund, a project, buried and abandoned, that carries your original family vision. This man has watched as others have tried to erase it, steal it, rewrite it. But now, he's restoring it, and placing the control in your hands. The number 709 will appear repeatedly over the next 72 hours. On receipts. On passing license plates. On digital timestamps. That's not a glitch. That's a coded blessing. That's him letting you know it's working. He once said, "The only one who will understand why I gave everything away is the one who was never expecting it." That's you. You weren't born into power, but you were born with something rarer, divine timing. And that's why every attempt to break you failed. They tried to delay your growth, cloud your clarity, ruin your reputation. But they couldn't delete the one thing keeping this transfer alive, your unshakable soul. Now the stranger who exposed the vault is on the move again. But not alone. They've left behind a trail, and that trail leads directly to a key location near your city. There's a locked postbox, rusted, gray, marked only with an ancient symbol. When the time is right, you'll be guided to it. And inside? The signature you'll need to complete the claim. The man is moving fast now. The estate is changing hands. And the line between truth and temptation will grow thinner. People around you may suddenly grow nosy, invasive, over-friendly. Some may try to make you doubt all of this. Don't let them. Because in 24 to 72 hours, the silent transfer begins. And when it does, your name will appear in a location database you've never had access to before. You'll receive a numeric code with repeating digits. And someone you've never met will greet you with the words, "I've been told you'd recognize this." They will hand you something. What they hand you will not look impressive. But it's not the item that holds the power, it's the frequency embedded inside. A frequency only you can resonate with. The man, the one who started all this, is trusting you, because long ago, you made a decision that revealed your spirit. And now the universe, the timing, the legacy, it's all aligning. This is no longer a maybe. This is happening. Stay grounded. Stay alert. Stay ready. The air has shifted. Whether you feel it or not, the system has been activated. And now, every second that ticks forward is a test. The man whose name commands empires has put everything in motion. And quietly, behind locked doors and encrypted messages, your name is being traced through final channels. He's not waiting anymore. The countdown has begun, and there's no way to pause it. If you walk away now, the documents auto-expire and redirect everything you were meant to receive to a nameless trust. One built for charity, but not for you. He doesn't want you to lose this, not because of ignorance, not because of fear, and definitely not because of someone else's manipulation. He knows the enemy is working overtime to distract you right now. That's why random arguments, unexpected problems, and unnecessary detours may be popping up. They're not coincidence. They're designed to keep you away from this truth. The moment you clicked on this series, it triggered a silent alert in the system. You're now being observed, not for punishment, but for proof. Proof that you're ready. That's why you need to hear this next piece very clearly. A location has been unlocked. And you're about to receive access, but only if you don't hesitate. The stranger from the previous part? The one who placed the envelope by the plaque? They were acting under direct instruction. Not from the billionaire, but from someone even closer to you than you realize. Yes, your connection runs deeper than inheritance. It runs through legacy, through silent protection, through a thread of loyalty that's lasted longer than your current life chapter. Years ago, during a moment you barely remember, a choice you made shifted everything. You gave. You helped. You spoke something kind when you didn't have to. And that single act, caught on a private CCTV, was what changed your destiny. The billionaire saw it. Watched it again and again. Not because it was dramatic, but because it was pure. That's when he said, "That's the one." He began rewriting his directives that very night. A power of attorney change. A shift in property rights. A silent transfer of coded shares. But because your life was at risk, yes, there were threats made, he couldn't expose you publicly. So he assigned 2 people to quietly monitor your evolution. To report on your milestones. To track your energy. To wait for the moment your path aligned with his will. That moment is now. The attorney overseeing this has released one final clue, buried in an old ledger that was never supposed to be opened. The clue? The black feather touches down where the circle meets the east wall. What does that mean? It means you'll be guided to a specific place, likely in a structure with an arch, possibly near a library, or a church-turned-community center. And near that east wall, something will happen. A conversation. A memory. A chill. That will be your confirmation that the handover has officially begun. But you'll have a choice. There will be 2 routes, one simple and safe, the other quiet but risky. The simple one will come with public recognition but limited control. The quiet one will unlock full power of attorney, but will require secrecy, at least for now. The billionaire is watching to see what you choose. Not because he doubts you, but because the route you select will determine how much access you're granted. This is not a game. This is a full-scale shift of generational power. And the moment you accept, you become more than a beneficiary. You become a guardian of something sacred. A mission. A purpose. A chain of impact. Here's what you must do next. Stay alert over the next 36 hours. You will receive a strange notification that looks like an error. It will say something like, "Access denied, retry verification." Do not ignore it. Click it. Because hidden behind that message will be your access code. Once entered, it will give you a list of cities. Choose the one you've dreamt of recently. Even if you think it's unrelated. Trust it. That city holds the key location. The billionaire has built a silent vault room beneath a regular building. And it's there, under concrete and time, that your name is engraved. Engraved. Not printed. Because this was never about guessing. This was destiny written in stone. And now, he wants you to see it for yourself. There will be temptations. People pretending to guide you. Messages telling you it's too late, it's fake, it's impossible. But here's the truth, they only attack what threatens them. You are the threat to the cycle they've been feeding from. That's why they want you to ignore this. But you won't. You've come too far. You've survived too much. And now, you're one decision away from unlocking a chapter no one expected you to live. This isn't just about receiving money. This is about reclaiming the identity that was buried beneath the lies. Midnight is not just a time anymore, it's a deadline. And once the clock strikes, the final window to step into what was always yours will either open wide or vanish forever. There is no backup plan. No second call. No repeat offer. The billionaire has now authorized a direct handover, but only if you pass the last verification layer. That layer isn't digital, it's energetic. It's tied to your movements, your presence, your awareness over the next few hours. He doesn't want you to apply for this. He wants you to claim it, naturally, confidently, silently. The next time you feel chills without reason, or hear your name in a space where no one is speaking, know that it's the system recognizing your arrival. Because something powerful is aligning. You are being tested, not for worthiness, but for readiness. Your name is now locked into a list that isn't public, a high-level internal archive reserved only for those who carry legacy codes. This archive is only accessible through live presence. Meaning, no phone calls. No passwords. You must appear, even if unknowingly, at the exact location already marked with your energy signature. And here's the most important detail, you've already been there once in your life. Maybe as a child. Maybe in a dream. Maybe passing by on a day that felt strange but unimportant. That moment was recorded, not by surveillance, but by spiritual design. The billionaire has now instructed his team to begin the final lock retrieval process, something reserved only for high-asset legacy claims. This process activates when three things align. 1. The subject opens the hidden message. 2. The vault receiver is triggered. 3. The presence confirmation is detected near the legacy zone. You've completed step 1. The vault receiver is now flashing green. But the third part is what decides everything. That's why, over the next few hours, you'll feel drawn somewhere. Not dramatically, but subtly. A coffee shop you never planned to visit. A side street you never turned down. A building you usually ignore suddenly pulling your gaze. Go. Follow that pull. Because one of those locations contains a recognition panel, disguised, protected, and buried in plain sight. When you get near it, you may hear a low-frequency hum or feel a sudden tingling in your arms. You might even yawn uncontrollably or feel an overwhelming calm for no reason. That's not random. That's confirmation. Stay still for 7 seconds. Let the panel scan you. And wait. If your body vibrates even the slightest, it's done. The confirmation is locked. At that point, the legal team receives a green signal. And then? The transfer begins. The transfer will not be loud. There won't be headlines. There will be movement, quiet, high-level, encrypted movement. Bank wires. Ownership shifts. Silent login keys. Changed titles. You will notice unusual things begin happening, emails you forgot about becoming active. A long-lost item being returned to you. Bank transactions showing zero balances where debt used to be. Don't dismiss these. They are markers. Signs that you are moving into the space that was created for you, but hidden from you. And now we come to the name. He was never going to reveal it. But now, the pressure is too high. The billionaire is your godfather. He was sworn to secrecy when you were born. A silent agreement made to protect you from enemies that once hunted your family. But now, those enemies have lost their power. The contracts that once bound him to silence have expired. And his first act of freedom is to pass everything to you. Let this truth sink in, you were not just chosen randomly. You were written into this legacy before you even knew how to read. You were loved from a distance, protected without knowing, and watched over in complete silence. The time has come to walk through the door. But here's the final twist. If you do not confirm presence before exactly 11:59 p.m., a lock triggers permanently. Not out of punishment, but because the system will assume you weren't ready. He's watching now, not with eyes, but with hope. He wants you to show up in that space. Not for validation, but for completion. The lock has begun to slide. Slowly, deliberately. The vault, untouched for years, is responding not to a password, but to your frequency. This isn't about metal, paper, or gold. It's about what was promised to you, silently, long before you knew your own strength. It's about destiny answering with action. At exactly 12 a.m., a soft green light will activate inside a room you've never seen, but it's real. That room, deep below a structure that blends in with the world, contains the one thing no one could take from you: proof. Proof that he chose you. Proof that your name wasn't added last minute. It was engraved from the beginning. Inside that vault is a sealed black folder. It's thin, elegant, and embossed with the mark of his private legacy, a symbol only his inner circle understands. The moment it's opened, the entire chain of command changes. From that point forward, you're no longer the heir. You are the controller. That means total power of attorney over every account tied to his name. Ownership of lands, shares, and offshore assets already cleaned and waiting. Full decision rights on which funds are activated, frozen, or expanded. But there's one item in the vault more important than the money. It's a handwritten letter. Not printed. Not typed. Written in ink, with your name at the top. And this letter will reveal everything. Who tried to keep the truth from you? Why he remained silent for so long? What his final request is, not for his benefit, but for your legacy. You see, this isn't just an inheritance, it's a commission. You're being handed not just wealth, but purpose. The letter explains that long ago, he made a mistake. A mistake that cost a life. And you? You represent the restoration of that loss. He believes only you have the integrity to guide this empire in a way that heals, not just hoards. That's why he didn't choose his sons, his colleagues, or his business partners. He chose you, because your soul cannot be corrupted. But here's what's going to shock you most. There's a second vault, only revealed after the first is opened. This second chamber contains video evidence, timestamps, and legal recordings, all sealed, all verifying the legitimacy of everything he's doing. And within that vault is a security drive labeled, "If they ever doubt who this belongs to, show them this." Inside, a video of you as a child, standing beside him, laughing, protecting, saving him. The moment that changed his life forever. You didn't know the weight of that moment when it happened. You were just being kind. But to him, it was divine intervention. And now, the final decision is yours. You'll be given two keys, one physical, one symbolic. The physical one opens a location. The symbolic one gives you access to power not yet understood by the public. The symbolic key will come in the form of a code phrase someone will whisper to you this week. That phrase will hit your heart like thunder when you hear it. It will sound like poetry but carry a weight that shatters the silence around your destiny. The phrase is, "When the river remembered your name, the locks began to break." If you hear someone say this, do not ignore it. That's your confirmation that the system is awake and watching you for final movement. You may be asked to sign something. Don't rush. Feel it. Check for the engraved mark in the corner, a tiny letter M with a flame beside it. That confirms it's from his estate. And now, a final warning, not from danger, but from distraction. In the last 24 hours before you receive access, people from your past may resurface. Ex-friends. Old colleagues. Long-lost family members. Even strangers who feel too helpful. These are placed to test your energy. To see if you'll speak, reveal, or hand over what is sacred. Don't. Silence is your shield. Stillness is your sword. Your power is in your control. Inside the final envelope in the vault is a sealed card. On the front, it simply reads, "For when you feel unsure." Inside that card is not instruction. Not strategy. Just one sentence. In his handwriting. It says, "I trusted you before you knew why. Now finish what you were born to do." The system has reached its final phase. The data stream linked to your name is now flashing in red and gold, signaling that full authorization is just one step away. This is no longer a test. This is the moment of transfer. All files, accounts, encrypted bonds, and documents have been prepared. They're not waiting for approval. They're waiting for your presence. A courier you don't expect is being dispatched. They carry no badge, wear no suit, and speak no introductions. But they've been trained on what to say, how to hand over the envelope, and how to disappear without leaving a trace. The envelope will be black, sealed with crimson wax, and marked with a gold-stamped number, 23. Why 23? Because that's the final number in the sequence designed to activate only when the right person is within reach. That person is you. And the system knows it. There is only one rule: do not speak about it. Not to friends. Not to family. Not even to yourself out loud. This moment requires energetic silence, a vacuum of outside noise so the vault transmission can complete. The frequency inside that envelope cannot be copied, duplicated, or read by others. The paper itself has been treated with smart ink that activates only when it recognizes the microelectric pattern of your touch. The letter inside? It's short. It only says, "You made it. Go now." Everything is waiting. Attached to that will be a digital key, a tiny chip barely the size of a coin. This chip is not just data. It's access. Insert it into the port that will be shown to you, and your identity will be confirmed across 6 international systems. Banks, land registries, offshore legal accounts, encrypted archives. All of it will recognize your signature. Instantly. You will see balances. Properties. Private message threads between powerful people who always knew your name, but could never say it aloud. But here's what they didn't expect: the system was designed to obey you. Not the lawyers. Not the shareholders. Not the observers. You. Because this man, your godfather, your protector, your silent guardian, bypassed every standard procedure to ensure you'd never need permission again. That's why some people in his inner circle are nervous now. They tried to overwrite the will. They tried to delay the power of attorney. They even tried to remove your access by tampering with older biometric records. But none of it worked. Because he built a backup. A manual override, locked inside a silver box. And the only person who knows how to open that box is you. You've seen that box before. It may have appeared in a dream. In an old memory. On a desk you passed once and never thought twice about. It's not about the box itself, it's about the feeling it gives you. Calm. Familiar. Heavy with purpose. Inside it? A final command, handwritten in sealed ink. You'll know it's authentic because when you hold the box, you'll feel heat in your palms for exactly 3 seconds. That's the biometric confirmation embedded in its metal. And now, this is where it gets deeper. He left behind a voice recording. Private. Hidden. Sent to be unlocked only at the final unlock stage. It's only 5 words long. But those 5 words? They will shatter every false belief you ever had about your journey. You'll hear him say, "I never stopped watching you." That's when the tears will come. That's when the weight will lift. That's when the inheritance becomes more than assets, it becomes a sacred mission. The map he left includes a private residence, guarded by nature, history, and law. Only one door leads to the legacy room. And only one touch opens it, yours. In that room are 3 objects. 1. A leather-bound book with your initials. 2. A clear box with your name engraved. 3. A single golden ring, ancient, valuable, and connected to your bloodline. That ring was passed through generations, hidden during wars, preserved during exile. And now, it waits for your hand. Put it on, and everything locks into place. The codes. The accounts. The mission. You are no longer the secret. You are the seed of legacy fulfilled. But there is one final message left in the room. Written on the back of the vault's exit door. It says, "Now that you have everything, go give the world what only you can." It's done. No sirens. No loud announcements. Just a subtle ripple through the universe as your name locked into place across every encrypted system that once held you at a distance. The chip activated. The ring pulsed in recognition. The document synced. You've crossed the threshold now, not just as a recipient, but as the rightful guardian of everything he protected, preserved, and entrusted only to you. The vault has closed behind you, not out of secrecy, but out of completion. This chapter has ended. But your true story is only beginning. You'll notice the change almost instantly. Not in money, but in movement. Delays disappearing. Walls falling. Opportunities arriving so precisely timed it'll make your heart ache in disbelief. Because from this point forward, you're not chasing anything. You're walking in something that has already been written. The mansion deed has been updated. The property titles are now reflecting your initials. The gold-sealed account that was frozen for 18 years just went live, with you as the sole authority. But more than that, your peace has returned. That quiet knowing in your chest. That deep inner calm. That's what it feels like when alignment and destiny shake hands. You were never forgotten. You were hidden for protection. And now you've been revealed, exactly on time. One final detail remains. A sealed letter tucked inside the golden ring box. The billionaire's last words to you, meant to be read only after the inheritance clears. You open it slowly. The paper is thick, old, but perfectly preserved. And in smooth, careful ink, it reads, "My child, you were never meant to live unnoticed. You were born to shift generations. I gave you what the world tried to steal from me, freedom. Legacy. Peace. Spend it wisely. Not just the money, but the silence. The time. The power. You're ready now. You always were. M. And just like that, you exhale, not because it's over, but because you can finally breathe in what's real. Your life won't look the same from here. Because you're not walking as the one waiting. You're walking as the one trusted. Trusted to lead. Trusted to choose. Trusted to protect what he could only start. This was never about how much he had. It was always about who would carry it forward. And now the answer is clear. It's you. Sparkles, if you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give a super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Sparkles.